all. Welcome to the Breakfast News right here on ABS Television. The principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School, Onitsha, Dr. Fidelia Ogili, has been asked to step down as the principal of the school for going against the mandate of Governor Chukwuma Soludo on free and compulsory education for JSS students of the school. This is contained in a release signed by the chairman, Post-Primary School Service Commission, PPSSC, Oka, Professor Nkechi Ikediugu. According to the release, it was gathered that a PTA meeting that was held on the 23rd of November, she asked the parents to pay 1,700 naira each for the payment of PTA teachers. Students whose parents were absent from the PTA meeting were asked to pay 1,000 naira each, while students whose parents were absent from the school orientation program were levied 1,000 naira as well. The release noted that Dr. Ogili, in addition to the above, also asked students to pay 250 naira each as their first-term examination levy. Remember, the 6 principals were suspended some months back for flouting the free education policy of the state government, but were later pardoned. And when they were recalled, there was an agreement between Governor Soludo and the principals that anyone who defaults will face dismissal. Based on the agreement, the principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School, Onitsha, Dr. Ogili, is therefore asked to hand over all the school properties in her possession to the vice principal administration of the school with immediate effect and proceed to PPSSC headquarters, Oka, for further actions. The Alumni Association of Basden Memorial Special Education Center, Isulo, in Orumba South Local Government Area, has called on Anambra State Government, philanthropists, and public-spirited individuals to help reposition the school and equip students with necessary materials to enhance teaching and learning in the school. Correspondent Joseph Ibocha reports.
Speaking at a symposium held at Professor Kenneth Dike Central E-Library, Oka, the national president of Basden Memorial Special Education Center Alumni Association, Barrister Onyinye Evuire, said though limited in some ways, the association has been doing its part in addressing challenges students at the center face, but said that government attention is direly needed for more impact in repositioning the state-owned special education center. The symposium with the theme, A Call to Action on Special Education and Healthcare for Persons with Disabilities, was designed to bring together experts, policymakers, and stakeholders to discuss the challenges and opportunities facing the special education and healthcare sector in the state, and to raise awareness on the needs of people with special needs, advocate improved services and support for them. Barrister Evuire, who was among pioneer students of the school and now a principal state counsel with the Federal Ministry of Justice, said the Special Education Center has produced hundreds of persons in different professions and called on parents who have children with disabilities to bring them out so they can be nurtured and contribute to societal development, noting that disability is not the end of life.
The school has produced hundreds of students in different professions. We have so many lawyers, doctors, and others in different disciplines. So many are not aware. Disability is not the end of one's life.
Anambra State Chairman of the Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities, JONAPID, Comrade Ugochukwu Okeke, represented by Comrade Philip Onwuboya, said the association is aware of the challenges facing the center, has visited and ensured that issues are facing the Special Education Center in Oka. Joseph Ebocha reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State government has threatened the campaign of total ban on street trading, hawking, building illegal structures on drainage systems, and display of wares on walkways across the state. The managing director of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Ocha Brigade, Comrade Celestine Anere, stated this while speaking to the press after he led a crack team to raid street traders in Onitsha metropolis ahead of the Yuletide. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike filed in this report.
The reason for confiscating the goods and services worth millions of naira, Comrade Anere said that the command had on several occasions warned and given notice to street traders in Onitsha to vacate the roads, but regretted that the warnings fell on deaf ears. He emphasized the state government's commitment to ensuring the safety and security of Anambra while maintaining order on the highways. According to the Ocha Brigade boss, the task force of the brigade has been collaborating working with vigilante groups to eradicate the problem of street trading, which he said obstructs the free movement of vehicles, pedestrians, and to curtail the nefarious activities of some hawkers who rob motorists along major routes such as Sokoto Road, Main Market, Onitsha Mosque Road, Bridgehead, among others. While noting that the move is part of the renewed efforts to ensure a cleaner, safer, and healthier environment, he appealed to the state citizenry to collaborate with the state government in achieving the vision of transforming Anambra into a mega city instead of losing their goods and services, especially this youth side. From Onitsha, Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
The Economic Community of West African State ECOWAS says it is set to launch the maiden edition of the ECOWAS Regional Economic Outlook ERO to provide the Commission's management and other stakeholders with a tool for planning and decision-making on the ECOWAS single currency. ABS Abuja Bureau Chief Princess Ekwi Ajide filed in this report.
President of ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Torre, disclosed this while presenting the 2023 report on the status of implementation of the Community Work Program to members of the ECOWAS Parliament at their second ordinary session in Abuja. Dr. Torre said at the ECOWAS Monetary Union Summit that the Commission had established the special fund for financing the activities of the revised roadmap and set up a high-level committee to propose a practical arrangement for the launch of the ECOWAS single currency, and this has made progress in the regard. He decried the continued inflation, deteriorating fiscal balance, and mounting public debt, saying they have continued to erode the welfare and standard of living of the ECOWAS citizens.
But it is a reality that's not unique to our region. If you travel around, you would realize that inflation is certainly a problem in the ECOWAS region, but elsewhere it is also a problem.
Members of the Parliament, including Honorable Sasi Kadi, Awaji Nombek Abiante, Konibali Ajarato, and Mohamed Bagura, among others, in reaction to the President's presentation, applauded ECOWAS for deploying a mission to show solidarity with the people of Sierra Leone while calling for restraint on the current state of affairs in the sub-region, especially as it regards coup d'etat in the region.
These groups want to take it as a social club. They have waived the ECOWAS. ECOWAS, please step up. We want to see more of the ECOWAS in these sub-regions. And we want you to stick a pin to nip it on the board, so never again.
We need to send a signal, a warning to the perpetrators of coups in this country, that in Africa, that at this point in time, enough is enough. Let us allow democracy to prevail. I respect it.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
Israel's renewed bombardment of Gaza is continuing into its second day as the military warns civilians in some areas to evacuate. Fighting resumed on Friday after a 7-day ceasefire expired. Israel and Hamas have blamed each other for failing to agree on the extension. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 178 people have been killed since the bombing restarted. The Israeli military says it has struck 400 targets across the Strip. The IDF says 50 strikes in the area of Khan Yunis in southern Gaza overnight. Civilians were told to go there earlier in the war for their safety. The Hamas attack on Israel on 7th of October killed 1,200 people, with around 240 others taken hostage. Since then, Gaza's Hamas-run health ministry says more than 14,800 people have been killed in Israel's retaliatory campaign, including about 6,000 children. Nigerian judicators have tasked the government with reviving the sports in the country as sports seems to be in the decline, with not enough competitions and grassroots developments being made. Judo was introduced in Nigeria in the early 1970s, and since the turn of the century, the sport has not been on the same level in Nigeria and even Africa as a whole. Since 2022, Nigeria's Judo Association has been creating awareness of the martial arts sports in schools to encourage more young people to take on the sport. Despite being a sport in the country for over 5 decades, Nigeria's Judo Association says judo has not gotten much support and attention. LSJA Chairman Sharif Ahmed stated that the Judo to School project would assist and teach students the art of self-defense and mental alertness, which is important at the formative stage of life. The Judo to School project is Lagos State Judo Association project to take the sports to schools as a way of promoting Lagos State government initiative of taking sports development to schools. It was all testimony of a life lived in generosity, love for family and godliness during the burial of late Chief Josiah Chukwuma Chinemelum at Nimo, Njikoka Council area. Late Mr. Chukwuma was laid to rest at his country home at Njiko Diaba in Nimo, had family, friends and well-wishers who came to pay their last respects. Correspondent Kenechukwu Chukwudi brings more details.
He is homely during the funeral mass at the family compound. One of the officiating priests, Reverend Father Francis MSUB, who drew his lesson from the Bible's reading, admonished those present to eschew enmity and judiciously use godly blessings for the betterment of humanity and never allow earthly wealth to deny them salvation.
Anybody knows, I said, do and live as you believe. You cannot be a Christian and go and begin to struggle with the paganism where they do one thing or the other.
The first daughter of the deceased, Mrs. Kenechukwu Okeke, who was also the proprietress of Holy Ghost International School, Oka, described the late father as a loving man who was generous to the needs of those around him and those who seek his assistance. His absence, she emphasized, will be missed. Describing the deceased in the same manner, Mr. Vincent Chinemelum, his eldest son, noted that his father was a giver to the core, as he likes sharing with those in need, a hardworking man too, who never jokes with his Catholic faith.
An in-law to the family, Mr. Patrick Okeke, said the deceased was a good man who he shared good times with, and advised all to live positively as the Bible instructs. While a grandson, Mr. David Ifeanyi, explained that his grandpa was a jovial man who always lightened the atmosphere with laughter whenever he's around. Chief Igwede Mamolohu, a family friend, emphasized that the deceased always stood on the path of truth and justice, raised godly children, urging his children to always follow his footsteps, as his absence would be felt. Late Mr. Chinedu, who died at the age of 75, was in the Biafra Army during the Civil War, a businessman based in Olo, Imo State, and an active member of his community. Many came to condole his family, including retired Deputy Inspector General of the Nigerian Police Force, Celestine Okoye, Holy Ghost Ministry Church, Oka, and host of other persons and group. From Nimo, it's been Kenechukwu Chukwudi for ABS News.
Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS on many parts of the world by liking our Facebook page, follow at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television Walker, follow on X at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website. It's www.absradiotv.com. To end the news this morning, a recap of the main points. Principal of Metu Memorial Secondary School on Onitsha, Ugile is to face dismissal. The STEM Memorial Special Education Center, Isolo Alumni Association, has sought more intervention to reposition school. ECOWAS is to launch Euro to fast-track region's single currency. Israel has renewed bombardments of Gaza as it wants civilians to evacuate. To end the news, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has called for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of co-Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that ends the breakfast news at this time on ABS Television. Thanks for watching. I am Priska Wanko. Good morning.